tremendously when we first heard that. So now it just turns to Tiger and his recovery, and I think that everyone will feel better when we get to hear if he's out of surgery and how he's doing, and we have no word on that right now.
All right, Liz, we'll put you on pause just for a second so we can just check in with Stu, because now the vehicle is airborne. Stu.
Yeah. There it is, and they lifted it up. They put a sling around it. You can see that on both sides right there to bring it up there. It's kind of wobbling around, but these guys, they do know what they're doing. Where they're going to put it, that seems to be the question. But you can see that heavy front-end damage right there. That's the area where, where basically at one time basically nosedived into something. Was it the concrete? Was it the dirt? We just don't know. And the windshield taken apart, but also you can see all those airbags in there had deployed in this newer car. They actually have airbags in the door, and you can see right there, like if you're looking straight in, that's the driver's side right there. Completely, all the airbags had gone off. So it's very fortunate that it was a newer vehicle with all this safety equipment that was involved in this crash with where the driver was Tiger Woods. Right now, though, it is you can't really tell maybe from the shot, but it is up in the air. They have it actually suspended right there, and this gentleman is probably going to do is attach something that's called an anchor line or a tether, so it doesn't spin around like we saw earlier on, or they can also turn it if they want to when they get it onto the roadway. There's a flatbed truck nearby. I can tell you that basically the plan is off the hillside, probably onto the road, onto the flatbed, and then off to an impound yard. Again, though, this is the accident that was around 7 o'clock this morning. Tiger Woods was inside that vehicle, happening out here off of Hawthorne Boulevard in the Rolling Hills Estates.
All right, well, we'll stay with this picture, and we can bring Liz back into the conversation. Liz, when you're talking about the injuries sustained by Tiger Woods, added on to his back injuries, I was just reminded when he was interviewed by Jim Nantz on Sunday at the very end of the tournament, he was talking about how he was going to have one more MRI to be able to see the recovery process, and that was going to determine how quickly he could get back on the golf course.
He had a surgery done on a disc in his back, and so they were looking to see if the MRI gave some indication on whether the surgery had worked, if he had started healing enough to move forward with this. Tiger's been plagued by these back injuries for so long now that at this point we were hopeful, but I don't know if anybody had complete certainty that Tiger would come back. Again, he was in that Masters not too long ago. Let me see. I've had so many messages out. He's had 5 back surgeries, as you said, Marla, so many times. At this point, right now, from the reports we're getting from Bill, from our reporter and other places, it looks as though maybe he was going fast. Maybe he was speeding. There's so much speculation out there about Tiger being on drugs. Now, it's not a salacious. We'd use this word salacious. It's part of Tiger's history. It's something that comes up with Tiger because there is videotape evidence of Tiger clearly under the influence when he was arrested and at a police station several years ago. He had later said that he was on Ambien, and he was asleep in his car on the side of the road. So it's a very real and legit concern and question when it comes to Tiger because of all of these injuries he deals with. And let's just take a minute here and think about what we're talking about. This is one of the greatest professional golfers of all time. The injuries. The sport takes a toll on you. Sports takes a toll on every athlete. These professional athletes are at a level that causes these injuries. We never talk about them. This is that side of this, the back injuries, the getting the surgeries, the painkillers, the things that help you sleep. And that's what's led us to this discussion about Tiger. And now the fear when we see an accident like this. But to hear that it's a possibility, if true, that he has shattered an ankle, and we know it's legs, given the report by both of his legs, given the report by his agent, that's something that will end his career as a top golfer.
Well, and Bob,
and
you
yet,
can
Liz,
add... Bob, I was just going to bring up the idea that when we talked to Michael Babcock from TMZ, their report that Tiger was seen leaving the resort that he's staying at this morning, and there was somebody else coming into the resort, and they passed each other in their vehicles, but the person coming in said that Tiger was driving so fast that they almost crashed. So that was some new information that we received from TMZ a short time ago.
TMZ is reporting,
Okay,
and then obviously we're hearing just about anybody who's even been in this area, and even Araxia, who was talking to us, who's grown up in that area and knows the area very well, is saying even going down that road itself, you don't even need to be speeding. You can find yourself speeding because of the incline there and finding yourself going at a fast rate of speed down that road. I do think we do have, she did talk to someone who also is from that area. Let's listen into what they have to say in their perspective on the driving conditions there.
I just woke up a little later than usual. Had a group chat with my friends. Someone mentioned Tiger Woods in a car crash. They mentioned Black Horse. I realized that was my neighborhood, so I just drove one street over, see if I could see anything, and realized all the traffic, roads blocked off, and 4 helicopters over my house. So I was just trying to see what would happen.
What have you heard? What was Tiger Woods doing in this area?
Well, actually, I have a friend that works at Rolling Hills Country Club, and she mentioned a couple days ago that he would be in town filming something at the club with a couple other people, and that he might be staying at Terranea. So once we heard that there was a crash, we kind of just put 2 and 2 together, and maybe he wasn't familiar with the roads, how steep it is, how bad the curves are. It's really easy to speed down here, so yeah.
Yeah, for those.
All right, that was...
One thing is...
Go ahead, Bob.
I'm sorry. No.